National security is the ability of a country's government to protect its citizens, economy, and other institutions. Beyond the obvious protection against military attacks, national security in the 21st century includes several non-military missions. Similarly for the Philippines and the Filipino people, national security is defined as a state or condition wherein people's welfare, well-being, ways of life, government and its institutions, territorial integrity, sovereignty, and core values are enhanced and protected. The government has identified 8 national security interests that amplify its concept of national security. These are public safety, law and order and social justice, socio-political stability, territorial integrity, economic solidarity and cooperation. Public safety, law and order and justice. The most fundamental duties of the state are to ensure public safety, maintain law and order, and dispense social justice within the purview of the constitutionally enshrined principles of democracy, rule of law, and respect for human rights. Socio-political stability. This is a condition where peace prevails even in diversity and where cooperation and support exist between the government and the people under an atmosphere of mutual respect and empathy, bound by a strong notion of nationhood and a sense of duty to respect the rule of law and serve the common good. Territorial integrity. This condition ensures that the territory of the country is intact and inviolable and under the effective control and jurisdiction of the Philippine government. Within the bound of pertinent international laws, this involves the exercise of sovereign rights over land, aerial domain, and maritime territories within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone and continental shelf. Economic solidarity and sustainable development. Building an economy that is strong and capable of supporting and sustaining human livelihood and national endeavors is the overarching thrust of the Philippines' developmental plans and goals. This component likewise emphasizes the development of a stakeholder mindset among the Filipinos, which can form the basis for collective economic initiatives at the community level. Ecological balance. Rapid economic growth and industrialization are transforming society and improving the lives of many Filipinos, but it comes at a great cost to the environment. The impact of global warming and climate change blamed largely on harmful patterns of industrial and human practices, which could be more severe for the Philippines as one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world. The Philippines must be able to maximize the rewards of its rich natural resources, while at the same time conserving and protecting these finite resources for the sake of the future generation. Cultural cohesiveness. National unity is an essential cornerstone of national survival. Without it, there's no future for the country. Filipinos must continue to embrace the values and belief system, the moral and ethical standards, the tradition and cultural heritage, which have made them truly distinct and earn a respected place in the community of nations. Amid diversity, such qualities have served as the invincible potent force that teaches the Filipino to care and work for the common good and to help their fellow Filipinos, especially during time of tragedies and disasters. The government must continue to fully harness these attributes and value system in order to strengthen the Filipino family, promote national harmony, and keep the spirit of patriotism and national pride, which is the most fundamental of national unity. Moral and spiritual consensus. This component speaks of a moral and spiritual consensus among Filipinos on the wisdom and righteousness of the national vision. It presupposes the people's trust and confidence in the government's commitment and capability to lead the national vision. Such trust and confidence inspires and motivates the citizens to get involved and to participate vigorously in the implementation of governmental programs that promote peace and development. International peace and cooperation. The Philippines is a democratic country and is committed to the promotion of global peace, development, and humanitarianism. Within this framework, the security of the state is best enhanced through the pursuit of amity and cooperation with all nations and partnership with like-minded countries and strategic partners. The country must pursue constructive and cordial relations with all peoples, but remain free from any control, interference, or threat of aggression from any of them.
The national security challenges. There are many among us who advance the assessment that bad evil our country today, which need to be addressed with urgency. or corruption, both in the high and low echelons of government, criminality in the streets, and the rampant sale of illegal drugs. The national security sector needs to give focused attention to several internal and external issues that confronting the Philippine society. Under to the internal environment are the law and administration of justice, internal armed conflicts, terrorism and transactional crime, as well as the economic and social threats. Different levels of economic and social development, along with the demographic pressures, cause hunger and malnutrition, homelessness, and the larger migration of people from rural to urban areas. Demographic migrations, in addition to social problems and the growth of crime, can lead to increased instability and insecurity. While the external environment are the overlapping claims and maritime domain issues, such as in the United States, in China, ASEAN, Japan, and other regional players. Also, the global uncertainties and proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, including the increase of global economic uncertainties, global security issues, and the welfare of OFWs. Proliferation of weapons of mass destructions. Rapid technological advancements and greater access to scientific knowledge are changing the face of the world in unimagined ways. Scientific and technological breakthroughs are creating wealth and progress everywhere, while also spawning new and increasingly dangerous triggers for global security. Among the most serious of these threats is the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, which has come to occupy center stage. Breakthroughs are creating wealth and progress everywhere, while also spawning new and increasingly dangerous triggers for global security. Among the most serious of these threats is the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, which has come to occupy center stage in international. The other urgent concerns include much needed reforms in the security and judicial sectors with a emphasis on the modernizing and professionalizing the armed services, strengthening the judicial system, strengthening legislative oversight under the security agencies, and improving the national security and the intelligence community. Other strategic issues and challenges such as the rising threat of cybercrime and the climate change. To meet these rapidly evolving security challenges in cyberspace, the Philippines must first and foremost develop the nation's cyber capabilities. Experts noted that one of the most serious weaknesses of the Philippines is the low number of practicing cybersecurity professionals. Given the enormous impact of climate change, especially on the full vulnerable population, the United Nations viewed climate change as a threat multiplier or as an indirect pathways that could exacerbate existing sources of conflict are themselves sensitive to climate change.
Chapter 5 Goals and Strategic Objectives. The National Security Policy, the mission that every government institution must accomplish to build the foundation for realization of our security vision by 2022. By building on the gains of reforms initiative undertaken by previous administrations, the NSP identified national security priorities based on realistic, proactive assessment of the risks and opportunities in domestic global security environment, which is constantly in state of strengthen public safety law and order in the administration of justice. The general public must be secured and protected from any harm that could endanger their lives, properties, and ways of life. The government is primarily accountable to the people and must ensure that a just, stable, and peaceful society is achieved. When internal peace and stability exist, both public and private institutions can extend the reach of governance and development to all Filipinos. Foster solidarity-based and sustainable economic development. Sustaining the path toward economic development is vital for national security and social progress. Building a prosperous nation requires our collective efforts in bringing peace by ending all internal thrift, poverty, which plagues a significant portion of our population, cannot be resolved unless and until corruption and incompetent government officials are weeded out from bureaucracy. Our primary aim is to ensure that our people are free from human hunger and poverty through policies that promote full employment, a rising standard of living, and an improved quality of life for all. Sustain and enhance sociopolitical stability. Internal sociopolitical stability rests upon healing the many rifts that divide the nation. This consists of measures and policies that promote participatory governance, synergies of the three branches of government, the executive, legislative, and judiciary, and the evolution and decentralization of the political power and responsibility of local government units. Advance cultural cohesiveness. Consonant of the pluralist character of our populace, the government must endeavor to create an environment conducive to cultural understanding, promote social integration, and foster inclusive societies that respect diversity. Toward this end, the government shall strengthen the National Commission for Cultures and the Art to promote the immense wealth of the Philippines art and culture and to effectively and efficiently implement the government cultural programs. Promote moral spiritual consensus. Moral consensus is achieved if there is a shared vision of Filipinos nationhood, inspired and manifested in words and deeds by national leadership and supported by the netizens. When there is a consensus among the people, the wisdom, the righteousness of the common national vision, the citizens are motivated to participate vigorously in the pursuit of national goals and objectives. Protect and preserve ecological balance. Protecting and preserving ecological balance is a complex challenge that interaction with many other determinants of national security and people's well-being. The environmental impacts of climate change had brought a new normal in Philippine weather, and impacts have been felt on the food security, water security, ecological balance, and delivery of social services. Safeguard the territorial integrity and sovereignty. Safeguarding national sovereignty, territorial integrity, national interests, and the right to self-determination are primordial duties of the state. The Philippines must demonstrate to the world that we are capable of protecting and defending what is ours, and that we shall fully assert and exercise our sovereign rights as truly independent nation, free from external control and influence. In this way, we can be respected, become world's reliable friend, and be able to negotiate favorable economic terms and concessions. Contribute to international peace. The government shall pursue constructive and cordial relations with all nations and peoples and ensure that the country is free from any foreign control and intervention. The programs of government will be geared towards maintaining an independent foreign policy and bolstering cooperative and harmonious relations with all countries, promoting development through economic diplomacy.
Going to discuss Chapter 6, which is the 12-point National Security Agenda. Number 1 is Human and Political Security. It enhances peace, unity, freedom, democracy, and people's dignity. Number 2 is Health Security. It protects the health and well-being of their population. Number 3 is Economic and Financial Security. Pursue the development of financial institutions which are essential mechanisms for productive enterprises. Number 4 is Food and Water Security. It is a sustainable economic development, environment, and trade. Number 5 is Military and Border Security. It strengthens national sovereignty by modernizing the capabilities of our core security systems. Number 6 is Social-Cultural Security. It strengthens and preserves them from unintended distractions and violence that threaten the integrity of our nation. Number 7 is Environment and Disaster Security. It enhances our disaster preparedness through preventive and mitigating mechanisms from natural and or human-induced emergencies. Number 8 is Energy Security. It secures and protects energy supply throughout the country. Number 9 is Maritime and Airspace Security. It ensures safe and secure airspace by improving airspace security measures. Number 10 is International Security. An international security is a national security or state security in the global arena. Number 11 is informational and cybersecurity. It shields the country from computer-generated or cyber attacks. Number 12 is safe transportation and port security. Safeguard both public and private transportation terminals and ports of the country.
Chapter 7 Resource Generations for National Security. The government should harness the Philippines' human resource as a great source of national power and a key driver of economic growth. Aside from people, and other factors that are vital to success of the NSTP includes the legal frameworks for national security, defense, spending and modernizations, and strategic industry for sustainability and self-sufficiency. Human capital development. The government must invest in our youth and make good education accessible to them by building more schools, improving the public and school system and teacher educations, and revitalizing technical and vocational center and institute. School curricula should be harmonized with the needs of development and nation building. Defense and law enforcement spending and modernizations. Developing incredible defense and law enforcement capability is a crucial cornerstone of national security and an instinct goal of the Armed Force of the Philippines or AFP and the Philippine National Police or PNP modernizations program. But there is a silver lining to this hurting picture. The economic strong performance over the past several years is making it possible to finally afford and modernizations package from Filipino police and soldiers' needs. The government shall also work for the early passage of pending bills in Congress pertaining to national security concern. Among these are the Revised National Defense Bill, Mandatory ROTC Bill, Defense Acquisition Bill, Archipelagic Sea Lanes Bill, and Maritime Zone Bill. Alternatives to the Bangsamoro Basic Law must be formulated or enacted. The government will vigorously pursue amendments to the Philippines Constitution's aim. Strategic industry or flagship projects. The strategic industry is vital to sustain economic growth and national security should be given renewed emphasis. The government must pursue as a strategic project under public-private partnerships or as a national security industries and flagship program and the following fragments.